Now everybody's quiet. Backstage, it was like, let's riot. And now,
oh no.
chill.
Oh yeah, we don't want to riot today. No.
Hey guys, how was your day?
Oh, infuriating. Hey.
It's all love and family.
So angry all
day. I love how that just has Vin Diesel's ass shaking underneath Andy.
Right under Andy's head, yeah.
There's no such thing as too much of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad those that are in the chat watching. Thank you for joining us, and we will try to be in some well spirits tonight. Hopefully, gonna try. No promises.
Except for Andy, he's always a douche.
Oh, that guy with his dad jokes ruining shit.
Wait till you see his word bubbles.
To be fair, my manufacturer's tag on the back does say legitimate douche.
Nice. At least you own
Makes
it.
sense.
In case anyone thought you were illegitimate.
Official merchandise. Trademarked.
CGC certified.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got the hologram sticker on it. It's how you know it's real.
Right.
What if like the CGC grade was like the NBA logo or some shit, just like guy dunking or something just drastic or dramatic, you know? Like that'd be so amazing. There's a guy reading comics.
There was a douche witness there when Andy was certified.
Mystery was there to certify his douchiness. That's a callback to you young kids. Hey, Andy, I got a joke for you.
You got the warning thing up?
On a day like today, you pull that bullshit on me?
Warning.
Hey, Andy, I got a joke for you. A piece of...
Alec has left the chat. He's pissed. That's like a slap in the face. Oh, man. God damn.
Stream Element bots represent.
Stream Element bot is the one who did that probably.
Blame the Stream Element bot.
That is just the hardest diss. I miss one of my old jobs. Like my coworkers and I used to play this game where like we'd be talking to each other, associating just every now and then. And then when someone gets kind of deep in conversation, you're like, and just walk away, just make conversation. And then you hear in the back like, you asshole. It's just like always a constant, like total diss, just like,
I've gone through the whole day without being mad or infuriated at anything.
What? Yeah.
And now you like 10:15 at night, you pull this crap?
Jeez.
On hump day of all days.
Yeah.
The day we celebrate cameras.
No, that's not a segue to a special John slideshow. That's next week, hopefully.
Hump day.
All right, so I won't click anything.
Hand check.
Hands up.
You sure? I mean, you can.
You're a little slow.
Move your hand.
Hands up, don't come. Sorry.
Doesn't even rhyme.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
The original one didn't rhyme.
Hey, Andy, I got a joke for you.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know it queued up. I was gonna do it to myself. Okay, so a piece of string walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve string here." And so he leaves, and he tries to sneak back in with a cowboy hat on. And he goes, "Oh, we don't serve string here." And he leaves again, and he goes outside, and the piece of string wraps himself up and tangles himself a bit, and then messes up the top of himself, so he's kind of frayed at the top. And he walks back in, and the bartender says, "Hey, aren't you that piece of string?" And he says, "No, I'm afraid not."
I just knew it. I knew that was coming.
Long distance to go for that one.
Andy, your face should be red, and you should be like spitting and crying and
Andy, you should be
snarling out of your nose right now.
Alec,
Okay.
my only response to that is I gotta know, man. How do you clean a pig?
I
With
don't know.
ham sanitizer.
No, that's no good. Hey, Andy, bacon and eggs walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve breakfast here."
If you guys think you got the most out of your Ultimate Alliance experience, think again.
The text. This is a think again. Is that it for discussion topics? Do we have,
No, I have a real discussion topic that I actually want
Bring it
to
on.
bring to your attention.
we have a very set format to this show, everybody who's watching, in case you didn't know.
And this is not a joke. This is like an actual real question I have to pose to you guys. I know it sounds like I'm setting up a joke, but I promise you I'm not setting up a joke. Do you think that the hobby of collecting comics is pricing itself out of itself?
Never.
No.
You don't think so?
There's always
Just a
somebody-
flat no? There's no wiggle room to that?
There's always somebody else that's out there that's ready, that's hungry, that's able to fill that niche or that void of a cheaper read at a good quality still.
There's always going to be a fool with money that departs easily with it, no matter what. No matter what
That's
time period you are in life, if under any economy.
Always
It
more ridiculous Star Wars spec.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean by that more specifically is, $5 cover prices becoming more and more.
Oh, yeah. Comics,
Normal.
hands down, is a privileged hobby. I mean, much less like record collecting, privileged hobby. You got to
Yeah.
have money to buy the stuff to keep up with it. What do you do when you can't afford it? You steal it, you pirate it, TV shows, HBO Max. People do that stuff too. But I mean, hey, I don't judge people that do that. But I mean, I kind of see what you're putting down.
Well, so more to my point, someone at work today said that he made the point that he never sees kids buying comics in comic shops anymore. And I said, I had posed this question to him, and that was part of the discussion we had afterwards. And I said, yeah, because they can't afford it. Like, how many kids can go into a shop and buy a book like we could when we were kids? And so I think that comics have grown up with our generation to be more appealing to us as we grew up, but at the same time they're not gathering the younger generation. I mean, they like the movies and stuff, and maybe that's just what's going to happen to comics.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, but we were talking before we went on the air how that new Star Wars High Republic, it's on eBay, it's $20 to $35 for the two main covers.
Mm-hmm.
The day it came out. And that happened with Daredevil a couple weeks ago. And you've seen these with Star Wars spec with all this, not to spoil crossover number 3, but I'm going to spoil crossover number 3. Remember at the end of crossover number 2, where everyone saw the big silhouette of the robot, and people started specking on Shogun Warriors number 1, even though it was clearly a Gundam. And guess what? It was clearly a Gundam because there's a Gundam in this issue.
Uh-huh.
So how many schmucks got stuck with that book because they spent twice as much as it was a week ago because it got specced up on something that didn't even pan out?
So you're saying kids can't afford this, and that's why they're not buying comics? I think it's more like kids like movies and video games a lot more than reading because the education system in America sucks. No one wants to read. That's why.
Sure, I agree with that as well. But
Heads up, everyone! Jason's fired up today.
Oh yeah, I'm pissed today. So.
we can talk about the education system for the whole hour if you want to.
Let's
I'm
do
sure
that.
John has some stuff to say that he won't get in trouble for.
Yeah.
But no,
So you have to
I
abandon
agree
it.
that kids have, there's more options for entertainment for kids these days. But even for me, it's like if I didn't work for a comics company and get a discount on my books, like I couldn't afford to buy more than 2 books a week.
Mhm.
And I can't justify buying any back issues on besides things I might find in a bin for less than they're supposed to be right now. So I can't afford to buy a bunch of crazy variant covers that a million stores release that are super cool and way nicer than the regular covers. So where does that leave us, like if you're not, like collecting anything is a privileged hobby,
Yeah.
unless you're collecting rocks because you walk around and pick up rocks off the ground.
Sure.
But like it is the demographic of people who can get into this hobby and actually achieve a collection is becoming further and further pushed away from the everyday person.
And yet, apparently, young adult books are the hottest hits and the most popular things from DC. Like, I think it's more because DC has to deal with Scholastic books, and it's on the menu where you kids and stuff have to buy things. It's not so much kids are going out and choosing those things. It's just like, oh, DC, whatever, it's on here, Scholastic program, yeah, sure, whatever. Big sellers. Oh, hey, our YAs are so popular, and everyone loves these new characters that aren't in continuity and don't make any sense. Like Star Child's fat kid for whatever reason. Not fat shaming. It just doesn't make any sense. Whatever. I get you're trying to say something, but fine. It's just, I don't know, man. It's I guess my personal belief is like, yeah, I guess if maybe it's because the generation I grew up with like we had Napster, Kazaa, ShareBear, and all that stuff. When you find out like, oh yeah, music and stuff is a free thing. You can just get, a lot of things you can just download for free. Comics, you can go to free, type in Google free comics. Guess what? You got everything at your fingertips. Delight, whatever you want to read across all publishers. Like, you don't have to pay for comics. You can read stuff for free if you really want to. You don't have to download it. You can just click on the website and you have advertisements on the side. Big deal.
Yeah, I'm talking more about specifically the collecting aspect of it.
Right.
I'd counter that thought really quick with it depends on the home environment too. As far as children being raised to read and actually own books and actually have a place in a home for books to be kept. And I'll also challenge that with, there are many, 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 many children in this country that their families can't afford computers, electronics, and all that stuff. So where do they get their Miles Morales and superhero fixes? The $1, $2 comic books at their local store. My local store has an entire section devoted just to kids right when you first walk in the door.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And kids aren't scolded or told not to touch anything. They can sit there and read books. They can browse. They can,
too. Yeah.
they
That's
can read
fantastic.
an entire book and put it back on the shelf and walk out, and the owner's not going to say a word to them.
That's lovely.
And I think I do agree with physical collecting of books is a privileged thing where a lot of us, this is what we do. And I will say that the majority of the people I see on Wednesday morning going to the LCS, they're all my age. It's all a bunch of people that are kind of in that age bracket where they're just old enough that they might be making some money, where they're not super tight college students on a tight budget. And then, there's even some 50, 60, 70-year-old people that come in and still buy books too. But there's niches, there's areas in the market where kids are still reading. They might not be buying 10 copies of this book or that book, but they're there reading.
I will also say that I think in some ways collecting is fading out across the board. Like, what do young kids collect these days? Like, they're not for them. It's about, like I think somebody mentioned video games and whatever. They're not looking to have like a collection of issues. They might want to, like my girls want to read a story, but then afterwards they're like, I don't need the issues. I just wanted to read it. Like, let's move on to the next read.
That's interesting because you look at the 30s, 40s, and 50s post the Great Depression, when people felt the need to hoard after the Great Depression. Maybe that's being weaseled out of our, it's not as ingrained as it was growing up in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like, as an 80s kid, I watched my parents hoard a lot of crap because that's what their parents taught them to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably because people can't afford to have a place to rent things. Because people can't even pay rent, so I can't live here in like 2 months. You know what I mean? It's that kind of mindset. It's like, where am I going to go? So I can't buy things to keep. And that's the majority of Americans. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, in what I've seen, in like my hemisphere, it's just like, that's the society we live in right now. That's how bad it is. But,
I mean, I think about, like, when I moved, it cost me a fortune to get something large enough to put everything I own in. And, like, I'm not like a super rich dude who, like, I just own a lot of shit because I collect comic books.
Yeah. I have a lot of stuff. I am borderline hoarder just because I collect and hold everything I've like always bought throughout the years, and it's like all pristine condition that I never touch. It's so stupid, and it's like, why do I do that? It's like, but the thing is, like, when I buy things, it's because not only because I like it, but also like I know it has value, and then it increases in value over the years. So it's kind of like investments and like stocks, you know what I mean? But it's like not because you're not
because you're not
gonna
selling any of
them.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to them. You know,
So
like,
they're worth nothing in theory because you're not.
Yeah, and like I started categorizing like my Discogs, my record collection on Discogs to see just in my collection what I have, and it gives you like a random price value of what you might have estimated value. Like one shelf that I have on the top shelf in like maybe this little cabinet here, like on one side, is like $2,000 in value. And I can't even have the time to go through like everything else. You know what I mean? It's just like, but what am I gonna like? I did it for insurance purposes, just in case like a flood or a fire or something like that, just proof that I have these things. I was thinking of taking pictures of every single thing I have. So time consuming. It's such a waste of time. It's like, why do we do these things? Why do we even collect things? And, God, I don't know, man. Probably just because it makes us happy to have them, and we can, and just it brings us joy just looking at it. Like just looking at this record or Gremlins or Super Shredder, just like that makes me stoked. I just smile just looking at those things, and that makes me happy just having it around, But like most of our comics are in boxes. You can even see them,
Yeah, I've been struggling with that a lot lately. This idea of like the not only the physical weight of my collection, but the metaphorical weight of it. Like, it's a lot to have that for what? And I'm not saying I'm gonna just throw all my comics away, but it is it's a strange thing to think about when you're like, why do I have all these pieces of paper?
Yeah. There's a lot of comics that I have, because especially from when I first started reading comics, and I was just trying to be so experimental. I didn't know what to read. You're just bombarded. It's like so wonderful going into a comic store that has everything lined up alphabetically, not even by like sections of publisher. It's just like everything A through Z. So you're like, you have Image, Marvel, boom, just everything, Valiant, whatever, it's mixed in. You're just like, what is all of this? And you're just like studying row after row and like, oh, this looks cool. And then like you go upset, oh, the art looks like it sucks. I'm gonna put that back. You're just trying to figure out what you want, what you like, and what you're like kind of interested in. And then it's so fun going on that adventure in your comic book store. And it's kind of a shame that the younger generation, I guess they have that that they can do that, I guess, but it's like, why would you when you can just like buy a video game on PlayStation for like $20 on sale, and then that occupies you for the next 6 months? It's like,
I don't think it's price. I think it's competition for shorter
entertainment.
I actually don't think comics have risen that much above inflation over the years. Like if you look back at when we used to buy comics as a kid, it probably is not. It's probably a little bit higher than, but if you account for inflation, it doesn't seem like it's a ton. I think there's more of a sense of entitlement we all have that we deserve all the comics. But no, seriously. But I also just wanted to say I'm glad we have such a good, clean show here on Wednesday nights, because I know a lot of kids watch us, and we influence a lot of kids to buy comics.
Yeah.
All right.
So think of how many fewer kids would be collecting if it wasn't for this specific group of guys on Wednesday night.
I want to be like Charles Barkley or Dennis Rodman says, I'm not a role model. All right.
Welcome, children. Welcome, children.
Yeah.
For watching.
Yeah. Did you guys buy anything cool today?
Did we not put up the thing yet, John? That was a cue.
Oh, we did. We put it up.
I mean,
the Not for Kids.
I bought the $35 Stephanie Hans variant for High Republic #1.
Oh, nice.
I didn't spend $35 for it, but that's how much it is on eBay. The day it came out.
Alec, do you still have my address or no?
Yeah.
I'll pay you double.
Double the 35 years. You got it, buddy.
All the money. I didn't even know it was coming out. I don't.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I just quit my job today at the Helium Factory. I won't be spoken to in that tone.
I was surprised to see that my LCS. Wow, cum drop. All right.
Just cover him up. Just cover him. Actually, he's not.
Real quick before we get to this, I do have something I wanted to share.
Yeah. Do it.
Can I present a quick dilemma that I had real quick before we do that?
Yeah.
So I went to my LCS yesterday, and I've ordered most of the Future State books. I'm excited about Future State because I love Elseworlds books. Okay, I think current continuity is kind of shit, and I love Elseworlds tales, especially when DC does them. Okay,
This is
so I signed up for half or more of the Future State books.
Okay.
And he tells me he's not able to get anything from DC right now because of like some issue with the distributor.
Yeah.
So do I just say fuck him and go get the books elsewhere?
Yeah.
Or what? Because like
Yeah,
I
if you
really
want him,
this guy's a friend of mine.
Nah, if
Well,
you want
that-
them, do it.
That's
Like,
but like, did he say I'll be getting them just late, or he said I can't
I
get
hope,
them?
I hope I get to work out this issue and I start getting my DC books again, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm just gonna go to my
Well,
other
but
store.
in the meantime, if you want to read DC books, you're not. It's not like you're taking money away from him if he can't sell you the product. It's like
True, but
if you go to a convenience store that you go to all the time and you're buddies with the guy behind the counter and he doesn't have your Arizona iced teas because they're having a problem with the Arizona distributors. You're like, well, I'm going to go to this other shop to buy them, and he's like, okay.
Well, then, yeah. What are the odds that when he irons this out, he'll get the back issues?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He says they're on order, they just haven't been sent, and I'm like,
Well,
Well, you're not the first person I heard today
but I
say
feel like
that
I
we're
made a promise like months ago by putting them on my pull list, and I was excited to give him the money.
You're not the first person today that I've heard where their LCS or their comic dealer didn't get DC books at all. Actually, none. There's a few places I've heard about that.
My LCS, it was Image, Indies, and Marvel,
And
and it
Marvel,
came
yeah.
like a day late.
He
on
said
the West
it's
Coast.
called Lunar, the distributor. Is that their name?
they change.
I don't know.
recently, so I don't know. Yeah.
we're on the Midtown side of things.
Yeah, I would say, I would talk to them and say, if you can't have them by the state, I'm sorry, I'm going to go somewhere else and take them off my pull list.
That's fair.
All right.
I mean, he might be a friend, but he's still a businessman.
Yeah,
and I'm
and
sure
he should
he'll-
understand that if he's a
He-
businessman.
He's pretty understanding.
Yeah, he should.
They're all still returnable for the most part too. He shouldn't be out any
Yeah.
money.
Right.
Should be.
So I saw this today.
Okay.
Um,
Cyberspunk.
Oh
Heyo.
my god, you called it.
He beat him to it.
it beat me to my own joke.
I thought you were about to make a
I'm
Cyberpunk
sorry.
77 joke about how the spec is dead on this book.
Was this a beat off? To the this is a race to the
Race to the finish.
My buddies were drummers, and they always joke like, "You want to have a beat off, man?" It's like, no, stop.
That's all I got. That's all the content I approve.
You can't say anything these days.
Rim shot.
I appreciate how quickly you finished, sir.
Sorry.
Make some more Star Wars memes. If
You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, let's see this. Let's see them Star Wars memes.
Kind of,
Oh.
It's kind of where I am on Star Wars spec. But inversely, you can take shots at me because I was planning on buying that. I wanted to buy that Daredevil one, but apparently,
That one's
I'm,
painful.
I'm pretty sure I have Daredevil 1, but like now I have to check if I do or not. 'Cause I have been reading it, like at least digitally, but I'm
No,
I'm
he
pretty
wants
sure
it.
I have
I have a
He
couple.
wants it. He wants it. He wants an original Daredevil one.
Number one.
Not volume one.
'Cause
But
that-
I only
was
meant
for-
Zdarsky run. I was like, oh no.
I think that's volume 3.
For so long, original Daredevil 1 was like the most affordable Marvel #1 book.
Wow.
And well, don't because it's too late. People have figured it out. It's already shot up in price.
forget.
Yeah.
Forget.
I already got hosed on that one.
Once they were like, oh, Daredevil might be in Spider-Man, let me buy it.
I think I made this one a little bigger so you can actually read it now. Hey, look, there you go.
Nice. I need my stimmy, or you get the Jimmy.
Exactly.
All right.
What is
so
that?
Do you want to save the thing I did for
if
next?
you think it's a good finish,
Yeah, dude, do it. No,
Yeah,
why not?
I
I mean,
love
we're
a
at,
good
we're at
finish.
like we're
Show
at
us what
past
you
10:30.
got.
Might as well just jump into word bubbles, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
it's
you got.
Marvels.
Why does the bubble point to the crotch?
Shouldn't it always?
Why does it say bitches underneath? I mean, these are questions.
These are mysteries of the world. I don't
That's a
know.
legitimate store, right?
oh,
Second coming.
all about the coming on this show.
Second time
Yeah.
green.
I just threw in a couple of moments from this first issue that I it still makes me laugh. This book I think is underappreciated. Not enough people talking about how funny this book is, and
Yeah.
so yeah. Here's a couple more. I gave you last week some. Here's A little husband and wife moment. He says, "The truth is, I wanted you to know because I'm scared, and I made you miserable because I didn't want to suffer alone." And she says, "Oh, honey, that's what marriage is all about." Oh, thought about marriage. He says, "I'm so turned on right now." She says, "Take me here, you hyena."
Hyena.
And then he says, "What is it?" She says, "Our son. He's going to die tonight." Oh, right. That is a mood killer.
No coming.
I love a good spoof, and this felt like Mel Brooks does Superman for me. I just really
Mark
got-
Russell is great.
so
with
funny.
commentary in general. Check him out on Facebook and Twitter. He's great.
Funny guy. So I definitely think this is one of the funniest books I've read in a long time.
Agreed.
It totally beats Hellions, which I think is also hilarious. But
Wait. No. Wait. Radio Shack.
Did you know electronics have been around
RIP.
for 111 years?
What the shit? No.
What?
Have you not been paying attention to
Don't shame me for what I like to read.
I'm not shaming you. I'm shaming the what's supposed to be a comic book.
For some reason, looking at this, I had a flashback of Wonder Woman 84 and Steve Trevor flying a jet, which is
No, this
difficult
is
to
better
fly,
than Wonder Woman
as
84.
opposed to clearly. But Steve Trevor driving a jet, as opposed to a regular old ass plane.
prop
And he's
plane.
like, "What are those fireworks?" And like they've been around for fucking centuries.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Fireworks, motherfucker. You
Yeah.
ain't trash cans.
Just give it. Give you the
Giving you the-
soapbox.
See that Jason smile.
I got to get the Jason soapbox ready every once in a while. You got to get it out. Don't hold on to it.
Oh yeah, this looks just as good as I thought it would.
So the reason I wanted to highlight this is because it felt strangely like propaganda to me. So these are the last 2 pages, and I have it on my phone, so I'm going to kind of zoom in to read it because there's a lot of fine print. So strap in, boys.
it's like Radio Shack is the greatest. We have all the best electronics.
Well, it's more subtle than that because it is just about electricity, but it's still like, isn't electricity great? Kids, which, by the way, this whole story is told from a woman talking to 2 kids about electricity.
Okay.
So she says, the story you've just read began countless centuries ago because our ancestors had a natural curiosity about things. Each generation explored, observed, discovered, invented, and passed along the next generation their contribution to the body of knowledge we call science, and to a better way of life we call freedom. It's mankind's nature to look beyond the horizon, to explore new frontiers. That's why immigrants and descendants of immigrants joined hands to build America, a nation founded on the right to individual liberty and the opportunity for achievement, the golden keys that brought America from a developing nation to a world leader in agriculture, science, and business. That's why the Pilgrims came to America in 1620, searching for religious freedom and the right to government by the people. And there's the keys, liberty and opportunity. The golden keys that open the doors for the science explorers you have read about in this book. People like Nikola Tesla, thank you for putting him first, by the way.
Yeah.
Samuel Morse, Alexander Bell, Thomas Edison, scumbag, Joseph Henry, Benjamin Franklin, Royal House, Edwin Armstrong, Joseph, you get the point. And the inventor of the transistor, John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, and many other great science explorers. Dedicated these people years of study and countless hours of tedious research brought us blah, 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 all that bullcrap. Marvelous inventions of the past 111 years on planet Earth. Remember, the golden keys open only the doors to achievement. Remember also, achievement is not a gift. It's up to you to do it yourself.
It's starting to feel like Scientology.
Yeah, right? And that's why you must study hard, learn all you can about math, physics, electricity, chemistry, and other sciences so that you can gain the knowledge it takes to be a science explorer. It's not easy, but you can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Shut up. It will be your turn to make a contribution to scientific knowledge that that continues progress without endangering our home base, Spaceship Earth, TM Disney. A contribution that also benefits people of other nations. Well, thank goodness for that. Just throw that right at the end.
Yeah.
Isn't America great? But we also help other people too.
Yeah. We help the world, apparently.
So way to go, Radio Shack. That's some,
You can
that's some
help develop a
fine
vaccine
propaganda.
that people won't want to take.
America's #1. Capitalism is fantastic because it saves the world.
I
Buy
mean, a lot
more
of this
stuff
shit
on
I agree
Radio
with.
Shack.
Like, a lot of this I really agree with. The value of science, fucking respecting it.
Wow.
I just want to say Albert Einstein's a communist, and and I think they have appreciation for things that are not capitalist, that overtake our society and make class warfare. So
You are
yes, Radio Shack is fantastic. Buy more shit.
I love all my stock in Radio Shack. That's where I put it.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Have you checked that in a couple of years?
I figure you're supposed to just let that stuff.
Yeah,
grow.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I kind of just if you mess with the investments too early, you can lose your money.
There's always some peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
If you look at it on a longer scale, you see how that you can really make a lot of money in the market.
Radio spec. Oh, are
It's
we
kind
done?
of simmer.
We're only doing the 2? Okay.
There's more of that bit.
Oh, sorry.
I know I just stole the show, but
You did.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of blacked
I
out
don't know
there.
how
I don't
I'm going to
remember
follow that with X-Men #2,
Oh yeah.
featuring villain The Vanisher.
yeah,
Strange
Perseverance spec on the
experience.
Vanisher.
Now, this is a miracle. I actually only went with one panel this week, which never, ever happens.
Whoa.
There's something about The Vanisher. If you don't know him as a villain, he gets real specific. He's very detail-oriented.
On this cover has a guy covered in cum. Let's just zoom in on that.
That is Iceman, okay?
Okay, all right. Nice man. Yeah.
So Frozen come.
Yes, it is. It's definitely confidence.
I guess every time I forget we have that.
Just in cube form, and he wears boots over it.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so Vanisher is demanding a lot of money from the government. Newsflash: the Vanisher has just demanded $10 million, and this is the part that kills me: tax-free. As his price for not turning over continental defense plans over to the communists.
yeah, you think he's really going to declare that on his?
Can you imagine if the government just gave him half of that, and they were like, "What taxes? What?
Yeah, sorry,
What's
man.
it?
Taxes.
What?"
That's what the 1099B is for.
Yeah,
It's pure
shipping and
blackmail.
handling,
It's the
handler's
largest
fee.
scale ever attempted. No one's ever demanded $10 million tax free.
Yeah, they did it through Ticketmaster though, so there's a processing fee of like
Yeah.
$8 million.
Yeah, shipping and handling, handler's fee, processing fee. Sorry, boy. You getting like a quarter of that.
The manager's accountant is like, "I've got bad news. You owe like half of this back."
Can we see that cover again?
There's a weird thing in the tax code that
Wait,
That's not the cover. It's compliments of Radio Shack.
So many compliments.
they were doing all sorts of comic book propaganda back in the day.
Maybe Radio
PJ
Shack stopped
gave
giving
me
away
that.
free shit, and they'd have
I
more money.
just want to point out that on the X-Men cover, Professor Xavier's wheelchair has a training wheel on it.
Those are his truck nuts.
Yeah. Bye, bitches.
Anywho, tax free, $10 million.
Good stuff.
ooh. Oh no.
Geez, Andy.
I didn't set no, it's chopped up. It's
I got
chopped
this
up.
cover, Andy. The Virgin cover.
It's ooh.
I
It's
thought about
chopped
getting the
up.
Virgin cover too, but then I'm like, that's a lot of just black space.
It's just
I like the. I honestly, I don't even like Spawn, but I liked the Spawn cover. I thought it was fun, and I
Oh.
same.
I got the one. I got the one where the girl's reading Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
yeah, me too.
I grabbed just the cover A, but all right, you guys buckle up. You guys asked for content. I made this one nice and long. So we're introduced to a fun new character in Crossover 3. And here he is.
Like Terminator.
It's real.
2.
Have you seen this girl? He plops right up to the side window and slaps her photo on there. She's like, "Oh, hi, look." Well, Effie, I think it's Effie. You know this guy. He's one of the ones who saved me. It's Doctor Strange. Well, that's not Doctor Strange. Oh, well, for one, oh no.
It's Johnny Depp.
for one, he's making an illusion to try to distract the authorities or something like that. The illusion he's made, it's only going to last so long, so we should probably skedaddle before the big guns roll in and bomb us to death. What do you say, Chief? Sound like a plan? Who are you? Just everybody's reactions. And then he gets right half in the car with his wicked eye. My name's Dr. Black with the Q. I'm with the Paybacks. We're here to help. Like some crack fiend. The guy's like, who the hell are the Paybacks? Otto, look. And this old man just shows up. Hey, kids, remember the Paybacks? What's that? You don't? Oh, yeah, that's right. No one read it, and it got canceled. So, well, okay, look, trust me. If I had read it, then she's like, what am I looking at? This scene would have been awesome from the narrator. So Dr. Black with a Q, come on, we got to go. And they start bickering between each other, and there's some dialogue here. You know what that means? It means he's there. He's the one in Ava's drawing. We can't. This is insane, L. Oh, for crying out loud, he says. We're just not going to get into a stranger's weird magic fan. Doesn't that seem a lot? I'm sorry. Who the hell invited you, Pyro? And then Dr. Black spins around and just finger guns. Pew, 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 pew. And starts transporting everybody to where? His badass palace where he's walking around in sandals looking like a legitimate, actual strange doctor. Mm-hmm. And the response is, oh, the fuck? Yeah, sorry about that. Takes some getting used to. But no fear, citizens. You're safe with us. It's like a big hippie palace. It's kind of cool. Well, then you actually get to meet the Paybacks here. He's like, wait, I know these guys. You're Blood Pouch and Night Night and Soviet Nunchuck and Misadventure. You're the Paybacks. Hey, all right, I like this kid. You're into comics? How do you? Yeah, I mean, really only indie stuff and not that much since, but yeah, they were published at Dark Horse for a while and then they got canceled. It was pretty good from what I canceled for fucking what? What's that about a horse? It's a whole running long 3-page joke.
I'm sorry. We just got a cease and desist from Donny Cates.
That'll happen. Yeah.
What about
for showing his entire comic book on our show?
That wasn't the entire comic book. That was bits and clips from like 4 or 5 pages.
It was the important part.
And we just got a donation from Chip Zdarsky for showing his Soviet nunchucks.
Oh,
is that what those are called?
You guys asked for content, and I extended my content from
you sure did, buddy.
Here to here. I gave it all to you.
Well, good for you.
Yeah,
your content goes from there to there.
I think those are called cum chucks.
Oh,
very nice.
One surprising thing my LCS had was Reckless by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, but a signed bookplate edition. Ooh. So they have this like cool little bookplate that's signed and autographed. I was pretty stoked. Surprised that they even had one, but they had 2 in the store. But yeah, just got 1. And then the little tiny little beer coaster. Kind of fun.
That sounds reckless.
It is reckless.
Did we highlight Jeff Schultz's comment yet?
No, let's see.
Probably not.
Dad, what's a radio? What's a shack?
Yeah, right? Yep.
Alex still pissed off that I did that long word bubble. I can see it.
I've been there, Andy. I've been there.
That's just Alex's normal face. What are you talking about?
Yeah, my normal face just looks agitated all the time and displeased.
This was Alex's face all day long while he was watching the news.
Rest in Alex.
That's a penis.
Whoa, that was really accurate timing-wise.
First thing that broke the window today. I got this crazy avant-garde Japanese comics from Japan today. It took them 3 months to get here by boat.
Thanks, COVID.
That's actually pretty freaking sweet.
They are super sweet. They're just really weird art.
Thanks, COVID drama.
Weird stuff in here. All silver.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It's all done with like silver pen. That's amazing.
I bought Saga variants from Japan, and they got here in 5 days.
Oh, and the dude's in a punk band, so I got his cassette.
Hell yeah. Cassette life.
Oh, cassette.
Life. 2 Up. Hedoro.
I wanted to shout out our Mainframe Comic Con pal David Pepos. He had his book dropped this week.
Oh man, I saw that. I didn't realize it was him.
So shout out to David Pepos. This is an Aftershock book. So awesome for him. And I'm not quite finished reading it. I was reading it before we went live, and it's great. So I'm definitely excited to finish this the second
I
we're
remember
done.
him talking about that. I'm
Really
so
good.
disappointed I didn't pick that
So-
up.
If you guys go to your LCS and you see this book on the shelf, you can support David Pepos by grabbing a copy. There you go.
I just got
It's
my,
David
my
P. Rossi, isn't it?
I just
It's
got my
okay.
copies of his Kickstarter started the OZ as well.
I hate The Wizard of Oz, so I did not get that. But that one, Scout's Honor, deals with a post-apocalyptic world where there's nothing left, but it's like the Bible pretty much is like the foundation or the Constitution, but it's like the Boy Scout
Boy Scout
handbook.
handbook. Yeah.
Yeah. So that seems an interesting premise and a lot of fun. And that's kind of like its own genre in itself. I feel like the Boy Scout, like Girl Scout theme is like
Yeah.
a thing in comics, and that's kind of fun. And they've all been reasonably like hailed as good. So
I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I was bummed that I had to stop and do this show, but
Yeah, I mean, you'd be bummed stopping to read Seven
I mean-
Secrets to do this show.
I mean more than
Oh,
more than usual.
7 Secrets
Um,
sucks.
So does the Silver Age.
Yes.
The art in the OZ looks amazing, though. I've not read it yet, but the artist really looks like he knocked it out of the park. So
That's Luca Casalanguida.
Luca Casa la Guida.
That's a guess. That's
What?
A guess.
You were on fire tonight, Jason. I almost wish we would just give you the floor and just let you do the show tonight. I think
No,
it
you
would
don't want that. You
be
do
so
not
much
want
better.
you want to come on book club on my
Yeah.
channel, and then we can yell about whatever we want.
that. Man, my wife is out of town until I think this weekend. So, hey, but I do feel bad for my pugs that are old and need to go to bed. But
Oh well.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank all the children who are watching us right now. Thank you.
yeah.
If you look at the demographics on like the Comic Core YouTube channel, it's like 80% 12 and under, which is not great for us.
What?
Like legally? No, that's not
Yeah.
true at all.
Okay, good.
I've
That's fair.
never looked at demographics.
I want to give a shout out to Artgerm for this Valkyrie cover.
I
Good
like
job,
that.
Arthur. Good job, Arthur.
He had two great covers this week. Did you see his Dark Knight's Death Metal variant?
Yeah, I got that one. This one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been even better, in my opinion. Like
I,
that.
I like
Yeah,
it too.
I
I had to
agree.
get it. I'm not even a fan of death metal in general, but yeah. And the same thing with Future State. I thought like
Uh-huh.
Flash looked insane. I like Flash, but this makes no sense. Oh, dude, you got that early. Oh, I'm so jealous. Mine's in the mail. Oh, it's a great cover. I love that cover so much.
Yeah, so cool.
I got the Wolverine one too. I pre-ordered the Wolverine one. He's like with the claws through his head.
Yeah.
Sick.
Done way too much comic book content this
This is
week.
my favorite cover for that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that
but
one's good.
that's already going for like stupid money. Speaking
Yeah.
of how
Like $35, but man, that's amazing. Holy
Did you guys
shit.
pick up Eternals? This was the 2 per store copy.
I know a lot of people were crapping on it because they were like, "Oh, there's like a million Marvel covers. It's so awful." And I was like, "But it's Kieran Gillen and Isad Ribic." Like,
Yeah.
Well, the thing that like really aggravates me about that is because like there is no way to be a completist anymore.
Yeah.
You can't get 40 copies of a book.
Somebody with more money will disagree with you.
This
Well,
is the 1 per store
I
copy.
guess I'll just go fuck myself.
I almost got the last issue of Death Metal that had like the Batman Who Laughs like playing guitar and like Batman and Superman in the background playing guitar just because they were playing guitar. But it was like I think $20 or $30. I was like, yeah, I don't need this. I put it back. And I'm like, I'm gonna get these other 1 and 2 per stores that are way cheaper.
Proud of you.
Thank you. But I did pick up Far Sector #1.
yes, she's going to be on the Justice League for Future State, so I'm going to read that.
I love that character. I think she's great. Looks like Janelle Monáe.
Awesome. Oh my
Future
God.
State, more like Farcher State.
Heyo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about Future State. I did pick up the Flash one. I picked up the Swamp Thing one because I do like Ram V's what he's doing on Justice League Dark, and I think writes a good Swamp Thing. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I did pick up the Jenny Frison, Wonder Woman, especially because mainly this one over the Joelle Jones ones, which is great as well. But the issue 2 of this series as a fire cover by Frison as well. Not so much the Joelle Jones cover.
Hot.
Nice. Yeah,
damn.
I thought about that one. But I just hated the movie so much. I couldn't do it.
So I don't watch comic book movies, so it didn't affect me, and I like Adam Hughes, so I said, whatever.
Yeah. I did pick up Future State Batman #1.
For $9.
$9, dude.
Did you read it yet?
No.
Spoiler alert, only a third of it is Batman.
Ooh, ouch. It's like, what, 4 issues? 3 issues?
Two-thirds of that book is an outsider story.
Yikes. That sucks. I hate outsiders.
Yeah.
If only somebody had made a YouTube video to explain all of that, so you guys didn't have these questions.
Dude, that's come up in my recommendations like 5 times, and every time I'm just like, fuck that, I'm not watching that.
You click the not interested.
Good night, everybody.